Gross anatomy of the liver. The liver is the largest gland in the body that weighs about 1.2 to 1.5 kilograms in adults. It's a wedge-shaped organ, and we can say it's actually the largest solid organ in the human body. It consists of 4 lobes. The right lobe, which is the largest, left lobe, quadrate lobe is like is 4-sided, and the caudate lobe. The caudate is like a tail, right? So the liver is divided into 8 functional segments based on vascular supply, right? So this is most importantly for surgeons, right? But for anatomy, you just need to know location of these segments. Segment number 1, number 2, number 3. Number 4 is divided into 4A and 4B. Number 5, 6, 7, and 8. Location. The liver is located under the diaphragm in the right upper abdomen, right, or right upper quadrant. If you divided the abdomen into 4, right, so if you make a section through the midline and here, so this corner will be right upper quadrant, right? So it extends from the 5th intercostal space to the right costal margin in the mid-clavicular line. It's percused at the 5th intercostal space. The liver is surrounded by a hepatic capsule, which is 2 layers. The outer layer is derived from the peritoneum, which covers the entire liver except the bare area, called area nuda. The second layer is the fibrous inner layer, also known as the Gleason's capsule. This capsule covers the entire liver, including the bare area, and it also covers the hepatic artery, portal vein, and bile ducts, right? So is close, is intimate to the liver parenchyma, right? So this is the Gleason capsule. Surfaces of the liver, right? So the liver is superior surface, which is this view you are seeing right now, and the inferior surface, also known as the visceral surface, right? So on the superior surface, you can see the falciform ligament here, which divides the liver external into right lobe and left lobe. Here you can see the round ligament, ligamentum teres, and here you can see the coronary ligaments. In another view, I will show you these ligaments again. This is the inferior surface or the visceral surface, right? So on this surface, what's important is that you see the impressions like syncope, like how the other organs are related to this surface. So here you can see the impression formed by the stomach, impressio gastrica, right? And here you can see another impression, impressio colica, impressio renalis, right? So which kidney will be at this side? Tell me in the comment section, right? Okay, so yeah, again, the other thing that I would like to tell you is that I told you that on the superior surface, the falciform ligament will divide the liver into right and left lobe externally, right? So in the visceral surface, there is a fossa for the inferior vena cava and a fossa for the gallbladder. This is what divides the liver into a right and a left lobe, right? And again, you will see the little lobes, the caudate and the quadrate lobe, right? Next, this region is known as the Porta Hepatis, right? So these are the structures entering and leaving the Porta Hepatis. The common hepatic duct leaving the liver, the hepatic artery proper entering, the hepatic portal vein entering, and the hepatic nerve plexus and lymphatics, which you cannot see here, right? So there is a portal triad. A portal triad consists of common hepatic duct, hepatic portal vein, hepatic artery proper. All right, so these are the ligaments again. Falciform ligament. This one is the falciform ligament. So it connects the liver to the abdominal wall, right? It connects the liver to the internal surface of the anterior abdominal wall. It divides the liver into larger right lobe and smaller left lobes, right? I told you this. And it contains a round ligament of the liver here, right? So it's an obliterated umbilical vein. On this view, you can see the coronary ligament again. So this is the anterior fold, and posterior fold here. This is the bare area nuda. On the corners, you can see the left triangular ligament and right triangular ligament. And you can see in yellow here, that's the falciform ligament. Next, you have the hepatoduodenal ligament, right? Hepatoduodenal, the superior part of the duodenum, right? So it connects the liver to the duodenum. It contains the portal triad, that's the hepatic artery proper, hepatic portal vein, and the common bile duct. What is the clinical significance of the hepatoduodenal ligament? In case of liver hemorrhage, temporary clamping of the hepatoduodenal ligament can help to achieve hemostasis. This is known as Pringle maneuver. Next is the gastrohepatic ligament, right? Gastrohepatic, between the stomach and the liver, right? So the gastrohepatic ligament connects the liver to the lesser curvature of the stomach, and it contains gastric arteries, right? So here again you can see these ligaments, the hepatoduodenal ligament and the hepatogastric ligament. These two will form the lesser omentum, and close to the hepatoduodenal ligament, you see this foramen which connects the lesser sac with the greater sac is called the epiploic foramen here, right? So we'll talk about the peritoneum later and the connections, right? But you can see this is the lesser curvature of the stomach, greater curvature of the stomach, right? Let's talk about the blood supply. The blood supply of the liver is actually called the dual blood supply. So 20 to 40% of the blood comes from the hepatic artery proper, right? So where does it come from, right? So you begin with the abdominal aorta, right? So the abdominal aorta gives a celiac trunk. A celiac trunk is 3 branches: the left gastric artery, the splenic artery, and the common hepatic artery, right? So the common hepatic artery will give the gastroduodenal and right gastric artery here. What remains here is the hepatic artery proper, right? So hepatic artery proper will divide into a right and left hepatic artery, supplying the right and left lobes of the liver, and the right hepatic artery will give the cystic artery for supplying the gallbladder, right? So hepatic artery proper comes from where? From the, we can say like it's a more like a terminal branch of the common hepatic artery. The remaining 60 to 80% of blood comes from the hepatic portal vein, right? So the hepatic portal vein comes from the superior mesenteric vein, inferior mesenteric vein, and the splenic vein, right? So it collects blood from the spleen, pancreas, and the rest of the GIT. And despite being deoxygenated, this blood supplies the liver with the half of its oxygen demand, right? And it delivers nutrients and other metabolites here, right? So draining blood from the unpaired organs in the GIT, going with the products to the liver, be it toxins and other compounds for detoxification in the liver. From here, where will the blood go, right? So drainage is actually hepatic veins, which drains into the inferior vena cava. And for the lymphatics, the liver is drained by celiac lymph node cluster. Innervation. The Gleason capsule and serosa are innervated by the lower costal nerves, right? So this is very important because the liver parenchyma itself is innervated by the hepatic plexus. You know, there is no pain sensitivity in the parenchyma, but the capsule which surrounds the liver, it has pain receptors, right? So if you find a person with a liver problem, right, with pain, right upper quadrant, you can actually press between the legs of the sternocleidomastoid muscle, and if you press there, is very close to the phrenic nerve, right? So remember, the diaphragm is supplied by the phrenic nerve, which is closely related to this part of the liver, right? So if you press, you will be stimulating the phrenic nerve and you're stimulating the pain. Thank you so much. In the next video, we'll talk about the histology of the liver, so stay tuned.